All right. As I mentioned, I wanted to have a special guest on the show today, and I've got Andrew from Lead Symphony. So, Andrew, thanks for joining, man.
Thank you for inviting me. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, and we get a lot of people that say, "Hey, I'd like to be on your podcast or whatever," because we have this amazing thing, and we try to keep it really pure to make sure that we've got really mostly owners and CEOs of roofing companies on the show to share their stories and stuff like that. But we also bring vendors on board a lot of times on the show just to share some really killer insights to help people grow their companies. And I really like your story because you partnered up with Kirby and you guys have done something really unique here to help roofing companies beat out the competition online. So just kind of share a little bit about your background story, who you are, and how you got into this.
Sure. In a previous life, I used to be a contractor as well, a couple decades ago. So I'm familiar with what goes on and what's going on with roofing and the whole nine yards. But I got out of that just because, I got tired of running the crews and I had, 22-hour employees and like 5 sub crews working for me. And it was driving me crazy. I just said, there's got to be a better way than doing this. And then I got into building websites, and this is back in built my first website in the early 80s or late 80s, believe it or not, when there's AOL and what's going on there. And then I got into digital marketing, been doing SEO for at least 15 years now. So I ran into my friend Kirby, who owns Lightspeed Construction, and he's a roofing contractor. And he had an idea. He was sitting in his truck on a cold day. He was watching his crew for a couple of hours. He had to be there because the client was coming over, and he wanted a way to be able to update his website. He goes, I've got these pics. I've got to be able to work on my website. And if you've had, I think he had WordPress back then, but even with WordPress, it's not real easy. You have to be able to upload pictures, and you got a small screen on your phone. So he said, why don't you come over and let's ballpark this idea I've got. So I helped him get that going. He had another local crew. I was doing my thing in Nashville. He's in Knoxville, so it's like a 3-hour drive. And he had another crew. Said, I got a guy here that says he can build this for me. So 2 years later, I go, we were talking about, I said, is that done yet? And he goes, well, no, not really. So I said, why don't you let me come in and help you? And that was like December of last year, January this year. And so we built this. And what it does is it actually helps people put content on the website, which is, as a digital marketer yourself, content's probably one of the most valuable things you can do to help your ranking in SEO, but nobody does it. And if you asked 10 people how many times you've updated your website this week, you'll probably get 0 out of that. You might get 1 or 2, but it's never more than that. And it's one of the easiest things to do to help you with your ranking, but it's also one of the hardest things to do, just because of the interfaces. You have to upload your pictures, you have to get your story right, you have to figure out what you want to say, you have to add the text. And because of that, most people don't do it themselves. They have a webmaster or some people that do it for them, and they usually charge an arm and a leg to do these updates for you. So what we came up with and finished up is, and you've seen it, is Lead Symphony. And what it allows you to do in a nutshell is to take all of those hundreds or thousands of pictures that every roofer, every contractor out there has on their phone, in videos, and you can, instead of being on your phone or on the cloud somewhere, you can actually take them and use them and upload them to your website so that you can share these with your potential customers, your current customers, and even your past customers, because it can give you a record of the job or a bid, or as you're progressing through the job, you can take pictures and upload them in real time, and you can share those with your clients. And so it takes all of those worthless pictures that you have on your phone or sitting around, and it turns them into money.
Yep, I love it. And just so people know, the reason that I was excited about this is because, like you mentioned, I spent a few years as VP of operations at a digital marketing company. And our goal was always to enable our customers to stand out online. How do you stand out in a really crowded marketplace? And so if you own a roofing company, I mean, like here in Dallas, if you do, roof quote or roof inspection or roofing company near me, best roofing company near me. I mean, that is gold to be in one of those top 3 spots, because those guys are getting 80% of the phone calls, 87% of the phone calls. And so the thing that really stuck out to me about the program you guys developed is you've made a way, like you said, to take something that guys are already doing. They're taking pictures, and then you're basically monetizing that and using it as content for a website, or giving them the ability to get an ROI on that, and to build content on their website, build their brand, add pages to their site, because you and I both know Google cares about how much content you have. And Google just wants to be the great librarian of the internet. If somebody types in a question, Google wants to give them the best answer possible. And you guys, from what I understand, you guys are just making that really simple. So can you show what can you show about how it
Sure.
works?
I can show you the end result, and I'll show you how easy it is to get the end result. And the bottom line is, and I will, you'll see this. If you can do a Facebook post, you can do a post on your own website. And instead of having a Facebook post or whatever social media you want to use, it's up there for about 2 seconds, and then it gets scrolled down the next day, or as soon as you put something else up there. But when you're doing this on your own site, and then you can share this with Facebook, it becomes a permanent asset. It lives there. Google sees it forever. And so will your clients when you do it right. So let me see if I can share my screen here with you. Host disabled participant sharing. So you gotta let me share.
Yeah, and I think the thing is the hard part about that is a lot of guys know they need to do this kind of stuff, but they don't. Let me look for how to set this up real quick. They don't have the time for it. They don't want to mess with it. It's just really challenging. So let's see. Allow participants to share screen. Okay, you should be good now.
Okie dokie.
I think that's the challenging. Like, digital marketing is a big, huge, challenging thing, and guys are like, I know I need to do this stuff, but it's too confusing. It's too hard. And you guys have made it simple and easy.
Yeah, we really have, and if things are hard, people don't do them, even though you know you should. So I'm going to show you. Let's see here. So I'm going to make sure I take this. And what you're seeing is I'm logged in as an admin. Okay. So I've set up this job, GAF Golden Pledge Warranty Inspection. And this same job is over on Lightspeed Construction at Kirby's site. So he's a real roofer that uses this. And right now he doesn't do, since we've implemented a system, and plus what I've helped him out with SEO, he does zero advertising. He spends zero money on Facebook ads. He spends zero money on Google ads, AdWords. He doesn't do any advertising. It's all generated from his site. And he does some door knocking, but he's really not a door knocker per se. So this is a job. I'm going to walk you through it. It has the customer name in there, where they are, their cell phone number, their email address. And what we have is, let me show you the end result from a standpoint of what the customer is going to see. Or if we choose to share this online here, what I'm going to do is we will set up a new incognito window so that you can see what's going on here. It won't show me as being logged in. So here we go. So this is what the public would see. So you noticed I've taken away the customer info, because you don't want to share that online. So this gives a brief description. Lightspeed Construction inspects a GAF Golden Pledge on a regular basis. So they go back in, and every year they go back and inspect the roof. This is a great contact point for them, and it leads to more referrals. But it also, if there's any other problems, guess who they're going to call? They're going to call Kirby. So this is what it looks like. The end result of using Lead Symphony looks like, and this goes on your own website, and this is what shows up as far as content. So you have a label for whatever you want to call the page here, or the job in this case, and we're going specifically after JAF Golden Pledge Warranty Inspection. Okay, that's a keyword he wanted to go after, and that's what we put in there. Then you have your text. This tells the story of what's going on, and then you have the first thing is, I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so we can see this. Whoops, went the wrong way. This is a cover image, and this is let me make this. this is what it looks like. So you take a picture of where you want to put in the details, and this is the end result. So we've got this is a JF Pro Start and drip edge, so we're doing that detail. We can click on this and make it bigger so we can see what's going on with the drip edge there. We can make it even bigger if we want to really zero in. And then we also have a video here, and I'm not going to play this whole thing, that plays. And we can make this full size. If we hit this button here, it'll take up the whole screen. But you can put in videos, text, and as you can see here, pictures of the relative information. And then if we also have, I don't want to get too complicated here, but we have a table of contents so we can see exactly what's contained here. So if I click on this, it's going to take me to that pin, and it shows me what's going on there. And again, I can blow this up as much as I want to see any details, and it tells me what's going on. And this talks about how to install the Pro strips. Let's see what we have here on this pin. This shows the drip edge and how that works. And so we've told a complete story here, basically within just uploading this one picture. And as you know, Google loves pictures. They love text, and they like it when it's on your own site versus elsewhere. And what happens here is, if we want to go into further detail, this is one way to look at it. So if you'll look, this is number 1, and this shows that pin right there. And this is a blown up version of it. So you can either click on the pins to see it, or just scroll through, and it will tell you the story of what's going on throughout this. And you can blow up any portion here that you want to. And so that's it. And then we've got another cover image that shows the details on this. So this is talking about the ridge vents. And so you can see the different pictures there. He's got multiple pictures that we can blow up and see that they were properly installed. And so this documents the whole inspection, and this could be a pre-inspection. So if you're going out and giving a bid to a customer, if you can get online or show this to them on there, or have them better yet, pull this up on their own computer, you're going to blow them away versus the guy that's going to go in there and maybe take a couple pictures and show them on their laptop or their iPad. But this tells a complete story, and you can add as many pics or as many pins as you want. Do you have any questions so far?
And so you mentioned iPad. I assume you can use this on an iPad as well?
It works great. Almost all of these are done. He makes almost of these presentations done on an iPad, but it's a great place to take pictures because it's big enough. You can see the details. And I'm going through this whole job, and this is a complete inspection. And so the other great thing about this is, and we're going to scroll down here, with every story that's out there, and we'll go click on this, we do a customer testimonial to the job. So this is a happy customer. They, if you're trying to convey, hey, listen, if you're going to do a testimonial where you have a little pop out and somebody says something, why not go grab a video? And they do this on every single job that they have, and you can go play this and I can send you the link. But this is on every single job that they do. And what do you think about, is this easy to follow so far? I mean, can you understand what's going on with this job?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, right away, I think if you've got this, so I assume once you do this, let's say you do it as an inspection, you said it's the images on your phone. So you're going to take these images and then you're going to put them up here, right, and then you've got the end result, which is a job done. Mm-hmm. I assume there's a way to share this with customers, with friends. I know it's on your website too.
Yeah. So this link up here, I'm going to do this again. So even better than that. So you can just share this link here, and you'll be able to see the exact same thing that I just showed you. So you can log in there and you can do everything that I did. This is as a non-logged in user. But let's say you had a question about the drip edge. And I'm going to say, Dylan, I've got a question about this drip edge. Hey, don't you think this looks great? Or do you have any questions about it? So I'm going to copy this link here. And then I'm going to go open another incognito window. And I'm just going to paste it in here. And then when I do that, you'll see what's going to happen is it opens up to that exact pin. So we don't have to fumble around. You can say, hey, oh, okay, I've got this. I can see what you're talking about now. You can blow up the pic and we can have our conversation. It's not like we have to email you a picture or anything else. And you can share these on social media. You can share them through you can send this off on a text on your phone, and the person on the other end is going to get it. And they know exactly what you're talking about at all times. And so the thing of it is, when you go in, you can do this. How Kirby does it is when they go out, because of COVID and everything, they go out, they'll do an inspection, they'll put this together. This will take maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Depending on how many pics you have, and I'll show you that here just in a second. So they do this, and if they're in a lockdown, you can share this over the web. You have them pull it up. You do a Zoom call like we're doing right now, and you walk them through the process. And you say, okay, let's click on number 1. I'm going to show you what's going on there. They can see the picture. You can talk them through the process, and they see their own house, and they're not listening to you talk the whole time. They're actually, viscerally involved with this. And from a psychological standpoint, I know you're in sales. This involves so much more psychologically. When they're looking at their own house, they've got something that they can touch and feel. And the other thing that has happened with Kirby that's helping with, and the other people we have involved is when you do this. Usually it's a husband and wife situation. And so you have them both sit down at the same time so that at the end of the presentation, you can close them right then and there. You can send over the documents, get everything signed up through DocuSign or whatever service you have. Or maybe it's a storm damage call. You can do this presentation, have the not like we're doing right now. You can get the husband, the wife, and the insurance agent or adjuster on the phone and show them exactly what's going on. And so they can, and it just makes everything so much smoother. You get all the parties involved that are going to make the decision on the project.
Yeah, and then so I'm thinking as well for the inspection that you could have all of this up and you have that meeting with the homeowner and you're walking them through, and you could have video snippets or video, short video shots of different areas of the roof. You can
Right.
have all these images. And so instead of sending them a proposal in email and then walking them through some static images, like you said, you've actually got them sitting there looking at their home. They can ask questions. You can zoom in. I mean, I think it would be a really powerful sales tool for doing virtual selling.
Oh yeah, that almost all of his selling right now, he doesn't usually go out and to the person's home after we do the inspection. It's almost always on Zoom. So he'll get them on the phone. Commercial jobs, residential jobs. I would say 95% of his sales now are done putting the story like this together. To go and does the inspection, or he sends out one of his other guys to do the inspection. It doesn't have to be your top salesperson. So Kirby sits in the office, does these presentation. He's not wasting a half hour drive in each direction and is banging out the sales by doing these virtually. And he's up he was like at a 40% closing rate. He's up close to a 70% closing rate when he's using Lead Symphony. And I'm not saying everybody can do that, but it's pretty good, and it's gone up significantly. So he doesn't drive out and do in-person presentations anymore. Once in a while.
So we're addressing a few big challenges here. It seems to me one big challenge is, as the owner of a company, yes, I want my website to stand out. Yes, I want to add content, but it's too much work. So you guys have simplified that. You take the pictures, you create the post. Like you said, if you can create a Facebook post, you can do this, and it automatically puts it on your website. Then you've got it forever. It's valuable content that's being used. Another big challenge is selling virtually and getting you and the homeowner aligned with what you're talking about and looking at. And so you guys have settled that as well. But I'm thinking in addition to that, just the proposal process. Like this is a big part of the proposal process, really the homeowner facing side, to say, these are all the issues. This is what it's going to take to replace your roof. And so you're kind of hitting that too. But then as we work through it, I'm thinking also for the referral business, because that's huge. We all know, yes, you want to knock it out of the park for your customer, but you want not just a referral, you want referral business. You want to get at least 1 or 2 more roofing jobs closed. And I'm thinking once you get all this done and you get that referral video, I mean, man, how easy is it for you to send that and then just ask the homeowner, do you know two other people you could send this to and kind of share about your experience?
Right. Yeah. That was one of the aspects that we kind of thought that was gonna work when we put this together several months ago. And what we found happened was the first job that we did this with, the lady that got this done, because we have before, during, and after pictures of it. She shared it with 57 different people, which was
Holy
amazing.
cow.
Yeah. Just because she's happy. I mean, you could see the before and after pictures, and she was happy about it because she got a great deal. She spent money, and she's super proud of it. And so, I'm not saying everybody's going to do that, but most people have 10 or 15 or 20 other people that they can share a roofing job with. That's what that's not highly scientific, but we're asking people, how many people, can you share this with? They got brothers, cousins, co-workers, neighbors, and it's kind of become amazing. And this is so easy to share. Like you said, you just copy this. We send this link out to all the customers, so we copy the link, and if I sent this to you, you could open up right now.
So
It's that simple.
I'm thinking some people may be watching this and say, okay, that's great. Web page looks great. You got this process, but is it really that easy? Maybe it's easy for you, Andrew, because you have experience in digital marketing, so it's simple for you. But how easy is it really to put this together?
Okay, so I'm going to go in. We can do it from start to finish, but I just want to show you the hardest part is everybody adding any content. I'm going to get you out of the way again. Adding any content's super hard. So I'm in editing a cover. So I'm going to go ahead and we are going to edit this cover here, and so I'm in the edit cover list. I'm going to show you a couple things. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to go in here and edit it, and I'm going to type in some text. Here's some text. Oops. If I'm typing under pressure here, I'm going to put in a pin title. And this is important. We haven't talked about this, but from an SEO standpoint, what do we want to call it? So maybe this is going to be shingle, I don't know, shingle repair. I'm just going to type in a random name here, but we can put anything you want in there. And then I want to add media. So I can, if I'm on my phone in a field, I can take a picture right now and load it up, or I may already have it in the library here. And I'm just going to pick a random picture here. We'll do this one. And again, a couple of things. I don't want to get off track here, but we've got the alt text in here, and we're going to insert. And boom, that's how easy it is to use. And I'm going to move this down here a little bit, and I'm going to put my G back in there. I'm going to make sure that this picture is big enough. So let's see here. We're going to make it full size so they can blow it up. And I'm going to hit Save Changes. And there it is. So I don't know how long that took me. 25 seconds, 30 seconds to do that particular pic. And that's it. So let's say that, so this is, and they automatically number, that pin automatically numbers. So let's say, man, that shouldn't be like the fourth one. I want to make that the most important thing. So I'm going to go down here. These are the list of the pins. I'm going to move this one up here, and it just became number one. So the order of it's easily changed. And if I want to add something else in here, I could add another pin. We could throw in a video if I was taking a video on my phone, or let's say this is the 6th pin, and we can have a bunch more text. We could put another picture in there. Let's speed this up a little bit. We'll do this, insert, save changes, and boom, we're done. So that, again, you can put 4 or 5 pins in this in a matter of a couple of minutes. And if you've got just one cover image like this, it literally takes you 5 minutes to put this together, and that's it. And then I just copy the, and it saves automatically too. So, and what happens is on these new pins, this is number 1 that I put in there. There's the picture. It automatically rearranges this order of what's going on here too. And I'm just going to move one thing around here so you can see what's going on. And there's that. So we have, which one do we got? Number 1. So it's going to be this, and you'll see this has been rearranged here. And it just happens to be the same pic, but there we go. So that's how easy it is. I mean, do you think you could do that?
That's really cool. What about if you want to, so that's editing a post you already have. What
Hmm.
does it look like to start a new one?
Let's go look at it. So we're going to go look at my demos here. And I want to add a new one. And you could, I'm just calling these demos. They could be jobs, they could be anything. So the first thing was we have to put in a title. And this, from an SEO standpoint, let's say we want to do this for Dylan's demo. So we've got that in there. A description, whatever you want to put in here, basic words. We're going to add media, and this will end up being our cover image. I'm just going to grab the top here. We'll put these bricks in here because you'll be able to see them. So that's that. That's uploaded. And the categories are important. Typically, we'll have like roof repair, roof inspection, commercial roofing, whatever you want to throw in there that you want to help rank for, but also to explain what's going on. Commercial roof. Keyword, same thing. We're going to put in just keyword number 2. Customer name, Dylan. And you can put first name, last name in there, cell phone. So we'll make that. We'll make this 777. There we go. And your email would be in here. And the other thing is that is not, most people don't understand this either, but I'm sure you will. So we're going to put, we drop a map pin of every single job in here. So you're in Dallas, let's say it's Dallas, Texas. You can go down to zip codes or the exact address that you're in. So we're all good here. So I just set up the first job, and there we go. So what we want to do is we're going to add a cover, and this is going to be our main picture that we're looking at. So let's say front of house. And we're going to add the cover. We're going to select it, and you can take a picture. You know, if you're on your cell phone, you can take a picture, or in your iPad, you can take a picture. And I'm just going to use this one here, and it's inserted. Add cover, and so we're back to adding pins again. And I'm going to add pin 1. Text again. Let's see. And if you have your phone, what I do mostly, I can type okay, but I usually do voice input on all this stuff. So if you just talk in your phone, and every phone has it now, you can just talk into it and put this description in here. Description, we're going to add media again. We've been through this a couple times, but let's put in this here and save changes, and boom. There's pin 1, and as long as it would take you to do a couple of those. So we're here. The error is it doesn't have an alt tag, and alt tags right now, you need to have those for all of your images for Google to help rank you. Are you familiar with alt tags that much?
Yeah, but I think it's worth explaining.
Okay. An alt tag is a description of the picture that you upload. Most of the time what happens is it's not done. Google can read those, Bing can read those, and it's a description that's hidden that explains what's going on in this picture. And when you take the time, nobody out there that I know of, any tool, puts any emphasis on this. And this is why the contractors that are doing this are kicking everybody else's butt when it comes to SEO. So what we want to do is we want to fix this. So we're going to come in here, we're going to edit this again and go here. Let's go take a look at this. Here's our alt tag, and this is a picture. And alt tags, you need to it's like if you're explaining something to your deaf grandmother, so that she can understand it without her, if she can't, or if she can't see, I'm sorry, if she can't see very well. This is a picture of 4x4s on end, and they look great. And in this case scenario, it might be, this is a picture of the roof cap, etc. All of these words that I put in here will help Google rank for you. So let's make this, we're going to make this, I'm going to make this a little bit larger. And you can set these pre-sizes so when you blow them up, they look bigger. So now I'm good. and we're set.
So it
Okay.
looks like, I mean, if you do this and it's your first few times and you go kind of slow, I mean, it
Mhm.
may take you 10 minutes to tops to build this page out, but you're building out an entire page on your website that is a presentation tool, an SEO tool, a referral source, and it's a way to just add content, build your brand long term, adding over the course of a year or a few years, hundreds of pages to your website.
Mhm. And as a ex digital marketer, I guess you're still doing it. What do you think is going to happen to the guy that's got 100 extra, pages on his website versus the guy that's not?
Right. I mean, Google wants to give people great answers. And if you do a Google search for book on how to mountain climb, and Google has two options, a book with 10 pages and a book with 300 pages, Google's going to send you that 300-page book every time.
Yeah,
And so
without a doubt.
I know that, Kirby with Lightspeed must really be crushing the competition in his local market because this is very powerful.
It's starting to get there. And again, this is I will never, having done SEO, for a long time, I will never say there's any panacea or there's any overnight situation with this stuff. It takes time to happen. But if you do this every week, week after week after week, in anywhere from, I would say, 60, from 3 months to 6 months, you're going to end up dominating your market because no one else is going to be updating their content. No one's going to be putting their alt tags in their pictures. And there's a couple other things that we're getting ready to introduce too. Is we might as well dive deep into this because I want the people that end up using Lead Symphony, they can really end up picking up, and I got to be careful about how much money you can make, but you can imagine that you could pick up 2, 3, 4, 5 extra jobs a month, and that has X amount of value, just because people will share it and your SEO is going to go up. And I mean, it's worth a lot of money. Like you said, if you're on the first page of Google versus not being on the first page, it could be hundreds of thousands of dollars easily. One of the other things that we're doing right now, and I just explained about the alt tag information. One of the other things that you can do with your pictures is put your geolocation in them. And it's either called geotagging or XIF, XIF. And what it does is it pulls out the longitude and latitude that picture was taken. And what that does is Google then sees the alt tag that explains what's going on, and then it says it's in this zip code in Dallas, let's say, where you're at. So when people are searching, on their cell phone for, roof repair, when you have all of your pictures that have alt tags and they have that localized geotag data in it, guess who's going to pop up first on the search results?
That's good stuff.
Nobody, but nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing that.
And so when it comes to adding this stuff to the site, how does that work? Do you have to be logged into your website? How do you, like, who typically does this?
The way it works right now, because you can't mess anything up. I'm in a super admin mode, but the only thing that that are editors can do. This is everything that I've seen. That's it. You didn't see the back end of the website. All you saw was the interface for Lead Symphony. So in Kirby's case and our other customers' case, every guy that goes out and does inspections on the website also creates these pins and puts together these cover images. So every time they do an inspection, they get a Lead Symphony story. Every time they do they're getting ready to do a bid for the inspection, they do a story. Every time they go out and do a roof repair, they create a story. And with Kirby's thing, and I'm not saying anything against this guys, but he made it part of, if you want to get paid on Friday, when you go out and do a job, you build these out. So they go out, they get up on the roof, they take their pictures, and they might be in their car for 15 minutes. By the time they get back to the office, this one of these is on the site already.
That's amazing. And then you can send it to the customer. You can be hyper responsive. It's a
It,
customer service tool. There's just a lot. I think the challenge is to communicate really clearly and effectively what all this tool does because it's a very powerful tool. I mean, there's
mhm.
There's other companies out there that do the imaging part. There's companies out there that do the presentation part. There's companies out there that do the referral part. But I really see this as such a powerful tool. And the thing I love about it is that this content is housed on your website forever. I mean, that's just huge.
Right. And I don't know, I mean, even in my other SEO tools, I don't know of anything that has been created elsewhere that does this. And I mean, it's a long-term asset for them. And if you, these will live on your site for basically, for as long as you have your website up. And every time you build them, it's just like um, Google. I like to explain to my clients when we're talking about SEO, Google runs off of brownie points. If you do something good, you get a brownie point and you get to keep it. If you do something bad, they take them away. This builds up hundreds of brownie points every week. And when you compare it against the guys that aren't doing anything, I don't care how jacked up their SEO, they bring in an SEO consultant like me that you pay $5,000 a month to come in and do it. I can do a lot, but I can't compete with someone that's putting out this much content done correctly. No way. I'd have to create the same amount of content to get the same amount of benefit, and it's
And
costly.
so what's the, I guess if guys are looking at this and they're thinking, okay, so the challenge is clear. I'm not going to be adding a ton of content to my website because you said you guys had a breakout session at RoofCon, and what
Mhm.
was the question you asked?
One, I started out, okay, who updated their website last week? And zero hands went up, and I went all the way out past a month, and no one had updated their website in the past month.
Yeah, so that's a huge challenge. Everybody wants to have a successful business. We all know that that means having a good brand online and growing that brand, having a website that looks professional, engaging in content. But then we're faced with this big challenge. How do we do that? How do we add content? And there's Facebook advertising, there's all these other things. But I had a podcast interview with Joe Hughes from Contractor Dynamics, and his point was you can spend a lot of money on ads, but you're at that point you're renting a brand instead of owning one, because as soon as you stop spending money on ads, all that content is gone. So this solves that problem. This, you own this, you're building a brand, you're building equity, so to speak. And you guys have this path, this process that's pretty simple. You pull it out, you upload your images, it puts it on the website automatically. And then if I understand you correctly, for Kirby at Lightspeed Construction, to use him as a case study,
Mhm.
it's resulting in a higher close rate and it's
Oh yeah,
resulting in referral business closed.
right. Yeah, it's no question about it. And can you still see my screen?
I sure can.
Okay, so I'm gonna show you a live site. This is, he goes out there and goes to work every day. And so this is how it's set up in his website. So we've got view all jobs. And so you can see, here's the jobs that he's putting up there. If I scroll down, this is going to go on for a long time. Even though he's only been using it for a couple of months. And compared with any other roofing web site out here, no one's doing this. But regardless of that, and let's forget about the SEO for a minute. So this is, let's see here. Let's go look at a real job. So this is a picture he took, and so this is talking about the damage. I've never seen this before, and so on this one, he actually has got a video like you were talking about, and explains what's going on. Oh, this is one of his people, but they walk through the whole process on this particular roof. So they've done a video and they've uploaded to YouTube. And here's the video if you play it from here. And here's the damaged shingles. You can show this, and it provides a story that verifies every single thing that's going on for all parties involved. It's just a great way to go, And then here's the details on that. Of course, there's some bad fascia and whatnot, and so you don't have to explain anything to them.
You're
Does that make
basically
sense?
just educating the homeowner on the scope of work, the damage and the scope of work at that point. I love it.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's really bringing modern day technology to the sales and communication process in roofing,
Hmm.
instead of emailing
Right.
somebody a proposal, and then having them look at it and then getting back to them. I also love how this streamlines the process, because you're taking a few steps out instead of you guys doing something and then going and uploading it to your website, then putting a proposal together, emailing it, then scheduling a follow-up meeting. you're taking a couple of steps out to where this stuff gets uploaded. Then you schedule that Zoom meeting. You go over all this stuff together. So it's going to make you money. It's also going to save you some time and money.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's right now, not only with him but the other clients that we're using it with. They say that they're probably getting an extra 20% more bids in because of the time factor, because they're not driving back and forth. So because you've got a guy in the field that you have to take the pictures with. But typically, when you take the pictures and do the inspections, it's not usually when you're going to get the homeowner there. It's you do that during the day, and then the husband and the wife come home in the evening. So he can do that in a couple of hours. He can whip through all these presentations, between 5 and 7 o'clock when everybody's there, and they get the decision makers. Or they can just send this to him, say, hey, I'm going to send you this presentation. Take a look at it, and then we can talk tomorrow about it. But typically, though, he does them live and he closes them right then and there. So. You still there?
Yep. And then
Okay.
for his website at Lightspeed Construction,
Here, we'll go back there.
When these things are categorized, I mean, is there a way to, like, a lot of guys that own a roofing company, yeah, like that, commercial roof repair, residential gutter and stuff. Does it automatically put these pages in the right spot?
Yeah, absolutely. As soon as you, when you're putting together the story, and I'll show you that when I was going through the keywords, let me pull this back up. I'll show you exactly where this goes. So when we go into here, let's go to all my demos. Did I save this? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to like this job too. We've got the like thing there. So let's go back to all demos. Should only have 2 in here. And we did. Let's go back to here. So we're going to edit this demo. And let's see here, featured image. So here's the category. So in this one, we'll go back over, and normally they would be, the categories are all of these here. So roof inspection, emergency roof repair, and this is different for different roofers, but these are pretty much common everywhere. So and what happens is once you put these in here, they'll show up in a drop down, or you can type them in. So this would be roof repairs. And you can add as many of these as you want. And you put these keywords in here, and we make them. Let's see here. We're going to add this one. There we go. And once they get in there, they'll come in a drop down. Roof repairs.
Nice.
Okay, so we add that once, and we'll never have to add that word again. So as soon as we start to type it up, it's already in there once, so it's not there. Well, it popped up. There you go. So I could add it again, but it knows whether it's in there. But as soon as you add them, they'll automatically pop up. So your guys in the field don't have to know this stuff. You preload these. It takes you about 3 or 4 minutes to figure out what search terms are relevant to where you are, and then you're good to go. So then same thing with your categories. So categories are your broader terms. Keywords are the keywords that you want to rank for, or specific. They're more granular.
So I think some people watching this may be thinking, if somebody's watched this and made it this far, and they're thinking, okay, here's a tool that's going to take those, like you said, 2,000 images on my phone, and instead of just leaving them in a CRM or Google Drive or in Company Cam or anywhere where they may be stored,
right?
I'm actually going to use them to build my brand, to get more sales, to get referral business. What does something like this cost?
Okay, you ready for this? It's $249 a month. That's it. You get one job a year, and you paid for it for probably 2 years.
So what's the catch?
There is.
Does it go up to 1,000 a month in a year?
No, that's up to right now. We've got up to 20 users on there. The only catch is if you go over about 100 gigabytes of data, we're going to charge you an extra $20 just for storage. But that's it. And it's probably, we've had people say that it's priced too low, but the thing of it is, we also have a 45-day money back guarantee. So if you give us your hard-earned $247 a month on it, try it out for 45 days. If you don't like it, we'll refund your money. It includes training, it includes onboarding, and when you get done with this, you will know how to use this. You'll know exactly the why and the wherefore. And if you take the time to do it, like I said, I don't know of anything else that you can do that can give you this much bang for your buck for your business that's permanent. You can go spend money to have people do your Facebook groups or your social media, or spend $2,000 a month on Facebook ads or Google ads. And I'm not saying don't do that, but while you're doing that, build up your own asset, because Facebook changes the rules. You could get kicked off of Facebook or Twitter or wherever you're going to, and you're dumping thousands of dollars in there. Spend a couple $100 a month, or less than that, a couple $100 a month, and build up your own website. And if you do this for a year, you're going to end up dominating. You'll be on I can't guarantee it, but I would bet $100 that you'll be on the first page of Google. I'll make it 1,000 that if you do this right, you'll in a year, you will own the first page of Google.
Well, and bottom line is you're going to gain a ton of ground that you wouldn't be gaining otherwise. So
right.
The question is, do you have a strategy to build lots of content every week on your site that's keyword specific, that leads people to you, or not? The answer with 99% of the guys out there is no, we don't. And this is so powerful because it's that content machine. It's a sales tool. It's a referral tool. And I think the price is amazing. So at the time of the recording of this video, it's $249 a month. So I can't think of a reason somebody wouldn't jump in there and give it a try, especially with that guarantee that you guys offer. Is there any closing piece of advice or closing point that you want to leave our viewers with?
Well, honestly, this is there's not too many products I can say this about, and because I know how much work and time and effort I put into this. Is if I had to talk to a company and a guy's worried about making more money, and especially if we get shut down again, which is entirely possible. It depends on, I don't want to get in the political end of it, and who knows when they're going to see this, but it's entirely possible we could get shut down again. And if they're relying on simply door knocking to get their jobs, that's not going to be an option. That could go away for a couple of months. And if you use this, you're going to be able to bypass that. You're going to be able to get more referrals. You're going to be able to close more, and you're going to build up, your asset, which is your website, which you own and control. And honestly, I can't think of a better way to spend $250 on marketing out there. Can you?
I agree, Andrew. I think it's an amazing solution. It solves multiple problems at once. And I think I would think that price would be the biggest barrier to using a tool like this. And you guys have lowered the barrier to entry to make it accessible to everybody. So I think you guys have launched an amazing product, and happy to get to know you guys better. And I'm really looking forward to the podcast interview with Kirby as well.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dylan. And I want to bring up one other thing too, is, and if they're intimidated by doing this stuff, and Dylan just brought this up when we were getting going here, we will do your first 5 stories for you. Just send us the pics. We'll get the description for you. You can call us up, and we'll put these together for you. Go use them to sell a job, make a couple grand off of it, and it'll take all your worries away.
There you go. Awesome. Well, Andrew, thanks a lot, man. We really appreciate this helps us fulfill our vision, which is equipping owners and CEOs to accelerate their growth and sustain the success. So this is definitely a growth tool. So thanks for sharing your tool with us.
Oh, you're welcome, man. I really appreciate sharing it. And I know you're going to be able to help a lot of people.